Good morning, world. I am Judy, your web-based therapist, making therapy accessible for our clients in Florida and New York, and of course, sharing information worldwide. Today, I wanted to talk about 5 tips for people who have to quarantine with an ex or in one of those situations where the relationship has technically ended, but you are still in the house together for whatever the reason is that you are sharing a home with your technical ex. First, talk and set mutually agreed upon rules and expectations. Because generally when the relationship has ended or when you're in that process of maybe getting a divorce or maybe being separated, you sort of start to already you each have your own lives, your separate lives, and you come and go and may not be spending as much time in the house together. But now that we have all these stay-at-home orders and people are having to quarantine, you're both spending a lot more time in the house at the same time. So it's important to take time and set some boundaries, set some rules. And of course, when you're looking at someone you're separating from or someone you may be divorcing, or this may even be an ex, it's possible that you will set those rules or you will set those boundaries and that they will not be adhered to. But at the very least, make the effort to have the conversation and set the boundaries and, maybe hope for the best. Maybe they'll be respectful. Maybe you can both be respectful and follow whatever the rules are. And setting those rules or setting those boundaries together allows them to also tell you, hey, these are the things that I need from you. So if they have needs and you have needs and they share theirs and you're respecting their boundaries or their rules, then they have more incentive to follow your request or adhere to what you ask for because they want you to adhere to what they're asking you for. 2, make plans and schedules to occupy your day. Because if you are not busy, if you're not spending your day occupied, then you have a lot more time to notice and see and get into it with that person. But if you have a full schedule, if you have things to do, if you're busy going on about your life, then you are less around, less available to notice and see and deal with their issues. So make sure that you're keeping yourself occupied so that you're not spending too much time getting into it with each other, so that you are not spending too much time around them, that you're not spending too much time where you are having to interact with someone that you would otherwise not want to or not have to or choose not to interact with. So have things to do so that you're not sitting there getting into it. 3, get creative about finding personal space and time. Again, when you are during regular time, you can go out, you can step out, you could do whatever you want, and you guys are each in and out. So it makes it easier to not be in the house on top of each other. But when you are both doing stay-at-home quarantine or whatever it is being called where you live, it's harder to find that space and find that time. So get creative. Do things like, hey, maybe there's an attic project you've been needing to do. So go do your attic project. Maybe you have a gardening, you've been wanting to garden. Go garden. Find ways to have personal space where you're away from each other, again, to help you guys stay a little bit more separate. 4, be realistic about your expectations of a technical ex. Because even though you guys may be sharing the house together, if you are separated, if your relationship has already ended, maybe you're in the process of getting a divorce, maybe you already are divorced, but you're in the house together for the children, whatever the reason is, be realistic of what you're expecting of someone who is your ex, who is technically or will be your ex. There are things that you can expect from a partner, things that you can expect from a spouse, things that a spouse will do, things that your partner will do, that someone with whom your relationship has ended may not feel the need, may not have the obligation, may not feel the desire to do those things. So be realistic of what it is that you're expecting of them, even though they are in the house with you. If you understand that, hey, our relationship has ended, we're separated, we're divorced, we're getting divorced, we are, whatever the status is, understand that even though this person may be in the house, that just because they're here 24 hours a day does not change the relationship or where the relationship is. Although it does provide opportunity to work on it if that is something you both want. 5, have an emotional outlet. Having someone that you are not exactly having the best relationship with in your house all day, every day, can be trying, especially if the person is not doing everything they can to help, especially if the person is not attempting to be, if they don't want to be accommodating, if they don't care. So make sure you have an outlet for whatever emotional things maybe come up, whatever feelings may come up, whatever situations come up. Make sure that you have an outlet. This could be, hey, maybe you're talking to someone. Maybe you're definitely you should be working out. If you're having to quarantine with your ex, you need to exercise. Whatever your normal outlet is, make sure that you have access to ways to release whatever frustrations, whatever situations, whatever things come up, whatever emotional situations come up for you. Make sure you have an outlet for it. Quick recap. 1, talk to them and set mutually agreed upon rules and expectations that hopefully you will both follow. 2, make plans and schedules to occupy your time, because when your day is filled with stuff that you want and need to do, you have less time to be bothered with and picking on everything they're doing. 3, get creative about finding personal space and time, because you're both spending more time in the house and that could increase the tension level. 4, be realistic with your expectation of a technical ex, because even though the person may be spending all day at the house, your relationship has still ended. So you need to be realistic of what you expect of an ex, even though they're at your house. And finally, have an emotional outlet, because having an ex or someone who's about to be your ex in your house all day, every day, all the time can be very tasking. It can raise a lot of emotional stuff. So make sure you have an outlet for that. And as always, if you or someone you know is going through something that is more than you can handle, remember that even right now when many things are closed, there are professionals like myself who are available and providing remote services. So figure out who those people are in your community so that if you need the help, you can reach out and get the help that you need. And that is all we have for today. Good morning, world. Have an awesome day.